Okay, gentlemen. Good morning. So we touched on some very interesting points yesterday. I want to expand on that with God's help today in the following context. Right? So what we did yesterday is we talked about kavod, right? Weightiness, respect, mora, awe, in the context of the father not getting any direct pleasure from it. So the father doesn't get the direct classic pleasure if the son respects his request, does not get any direct pleasure, i.e., the 5 or 6 areas of direct pleasure, which the Shulchan Aruch brings down: food, drink, shelter, transport. The 5 key areas that fall in the context of kavod, of honor or weightiness towards a parent. This is outside that. Hi, Jeffrey. Good to see you. Hi, how are you? Oh, very nice to see you. Oh, this is an honor. Wow. So now the question becomes as follows. We have a minhag. Yeah? And a minhag versus the request of the father, which is outside the context of the father's enjoyment. So let's line up our halachic benchmarks. Halachic benchmark number 1 is that kavod is fairly black and white. Kavod, or to appreciate the weightiness of the relationship with your father, right, which we call respect, but in the truest sense it means weightiness, importance. It means that we have to use dad's resources or mom's resources for food, drink, clothing, shelter, transport. That's our box, right? Good. We said that if something comes outside that box, for example, if your father says, I want you to buy this property, or I don't want you to buy that property, right, as we talked about, if something comes outside that box, it can either fall into, what we say, Abe? It can fall into mora, which is awe, which is the second mitzvah midoraita, the second biblical commandment, or it can fall into midat chasidut, alifnim mishurat hadin, which means that although the Torah doesn't obligate me to it, I want to do it because I want to do more, i.e. midat chasidut. In other words, it's an act of saintliness, it's an act that's greater than what the Torah prescribes. So where we ended up over the last couple of days on this issue was, if we have an example where dad or mom requested, please do this, or please don't do that, even though it doesn't fall into the immediate structure of kavod, as the Gemara Masechet Kiddushin and the Shulchan Aruch brings it down, it may fall in the context of mora, or fear. If it doesn't fall into that context, it may fall into the context of lifnim mishurat hadin. Sometimes we do things that are not obligated by the letter of the law, are greater than the letter of the law, because as we said, the primary purpose of doing a mitzvah is not for the other guy, for the guy who may get the benefit of my action. It's for me to become a better person, and therefore, if I want to heighten my sensitivity vis-a-vis other people, particularly my parents, but vis-a-vis other people in general, I might decide to listen to my father when he tells me, don't buy the field in Oklahoma, as we use as our example, right? Because I want to become a more sensitive person. And as we said in terms of our learning of this in general, it's all about us teaching ourselves, and more importantly, us teaching our children to be the sensitive, aware people that they need to be, right?
If you don't want to do it.
Okay, if I don't want to do it, very good. Okay. So if I don't want to do it, I have every right not to do it because it doesn't fall into the box of kavod, of weightiness, or what we translate as respect. It doesn't fall into the box of mora, of awe, classically, fundamentally, it doesn't fall into those boxes. Now, the consensus around the room the last couple of days was, even though it doesn't classically fall into those boxes, I want to go beyond those boxes. Okay, if you go beyond those boxes, you have every right and opportunity to do so. Yeah.
What if he's a partner, but not a less than 50% partner? Now what?
That's a fantastic question. In other words, if he has what to gain to gain or lose from a financial point of view, if he has what to gain or lose from a financial point of view, then it goes all the way back to category A. And if my father has something to gain or lose from a financial point of view, there's nothing to talk about that I have to listen to him. Nothing to talk about. Now, the question becomes, well, what if he's wrong? What if his assessment is wrong? What do you do? What do you do?
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Okay, really, on pure halakha, it's 100% right. On pure halakha, it doesn't matter. But you're going like this, and you're right. Because if I'm...
Even if he shows wrong.
Huh? What?
Even if he shows wrong.
Okay, very good. But what if I'm 50-50 partners, to Jeffrey's example? What if I'm 50-50 partners with Dad? Now, morning, how are you?
You know the stores are going to be 11.
You know the store is going to be 11. We always go back to retail. Oh, the store is going to be 11. We can't get off to retail. Take me back to 34th Street. We can't get off, right? We know the store is going to be 11, and Dad is partners with me now. Now it complicates the issue. Why? Because on the one hand, I have to listen to Dad. On the other hand, I don't have to compromise myself financially to listen to Dad. I do not have to compromise myself financially.
It's like any other projection, Rabbi.
It's like any other projection. Excellent. Very good. So,
I said you don't know for sure.
excellent. So on the one, so let's line it up. Let's line up the elements. Hi, Moshe. Good morning, honey. Good morning. Hi. Wow. Nice to see you. Come on in.
What's up?
Nice to see you. How you doing? How's the summer? Nice?
Huh?
Happy to see you. Good, great. Okay.
Are we talking about a case where your father is commanding you to do it, or just asking you and you have the right to decline?
Excellent. Is there a difference between how your father said it? If he said it emphatically, I don't want this, or he said, son, I'd rather not do this.
And then you say your wishes, I don't want to do it, and then he said, I want you to do it anyway.
I want you to do it anyway. Very good. So in fact, whether he says it emphatically or softly doesn't make a difference. Right? Really doesn't make it very nice. Huh?
That may change. He may start off with...
Okay, if he changes, he changes. Very good. If he changes, then. But now, Jaime's point goes like this, right? Dad makes a soft-spoken suggestion about X. That's his suggestion. Now, he has money in this deal. If my father has money in this deal, right, and I have money in the deal, yeah? So, I have a big question here, right? Because I don't have to extend or expend my money on behalf of my father's wishes. Now again, if the core demands on a son or daughter can't be met with the father's money, we haven't spoken about that yet, we will. But for now, our assumption is that the core demands on the parents' primary needs can be met by the father's assets, and that's where I'm expected to take them from. For now, we're going to get into, well, what if they're not there? Very good. But in this case, the question we have, it's a fabulous question. Okay, I'm partners with Dad, right? Sion, you with me? I'm partners with Dad. We're in this thing together. It's my money and his, which means he commands me to apply his money to something. There's nothing to talk about. Of course I have to do it. Oh, it's going to take my time to do it? Okay, you have to do it. But what if my money is at risk as well? What if my money is at risk as well? What do you want to say?
Take a loan. You need a bank loan.
It's 50-50 deposit. I'm a co-guarantor on the bank loan. Now what? Now am I commanded in the context of kibud or morah, or not the vazbez? Any of the elements we talked about, the several different references to deoraita, mitzvot, of kibud av, am I responsible to put my money at risk? Yes or no? Sion, what do you say?
No.
No, not responsible to put my money at risk, correct? The answer is right. I am not responsible. I am not obligated to put my money at risk. Very good. Now, I'm not obligated to put my money at risk. What do you do?
Well, you are obligated to put your money at risk by default if he has a bigger percentage.
Okay, a different
If he has
thing.
a
If I don't have a decision in it, that's something else. Let's assume, to your original example, hi honey, good morning, that is 50-50, right? Let's assume to your original example that it's 50-50. Do I have to put my money at risk or not? What do you say?
No.
I don't have to put my money at risk, right? The answer is I don't have to put my money at risk. Wow, 1 second. So let's go back to our structure. From a kibud av perspective, do I have to put my money at risk? The answer is no. Generally speaking, I do not have to put my money at risk. Move over to morah, to be in awe of dad, which is less tangible, it's less black and white, it's more emotional, it's more of a feeling and perspective. Based on awe, do I have to put my money at risk? What would you say?
Yes.
Blurring the line between.
I'm blurring the line intentionally, Joe. I'm blurring the line intentionally between emotion and business. That's exactly, I'm intentionally doing it because this is the real life thing. This is real life, right? So in real life, what do I have to do? What do you say? What do I have to do?
Isn't the overriding factor your relationship with your father? Isn't that not the money, not the...
The overriding factor is the relationship with my father. Do I have to lose my money for the relationship with my father? Yes or
You're
no?
not automatically going to lose it. You may.
Huh?
It's a suffix.
Okay, good.
No, you're gonna-
Even better, even better. Do I have to put my money at risk for my relationship with dad?
How much pain does it cause you?
Huh?
How much pain is it going to cause
I don't even want to go there. Because that's a pit. That's a bottomless consideration. You're right, but I can't qualify that. I can't ultimately qualify.
I don't know what the parameters are then.
Excellent, and that's exactly why I'm bringing it up. The parameters are my money, your money, my money, your money, right? Black and white. It's all their money. Black and white, right? Black and white. The father doesn't have to be compromised for the son. The son doesn't have to be compromised for the father. The son does not have to be compromised for the father. Therefore,
He doesn't see it that way. He thinks it's going to make money.
that's right, but the son
how he
doesn't.
sees it.
The son doesn't. And in this case, al pi halacha, again, if you want to slide it into morah, I'm not sure that it can be. If you want to slide it into lifnim mishrat hadin, or greater than the letter of the law, you can certainly go there. But then it's free flying. You do what you want, right? But al pi halacha, according to the black and white halacha, I don't have to give my money for his thing. Now the question becomes, which we didn't talk about yet, but what if it comes, so on buying a deal, you would say, no, you know what, Daddy, I love you with all my heart, I'm afraid to do it right now. I don't have the thing, I have other deals on the table, whatever it might be. On the other hand, which we're not covering, if somebody has to take care of the basic needs of dad, which is what's articulated by the Gemara and by Shulchan Aruch, and he doesn't have the money, now we're going to talk about what he has to do, but that's a different thing. But over here, we're not talking about the basic needs, we're talking about an alta need, an alta possibility outside of the necessities. In that case, the son does not have to agree. Okay, very good. Now,
what's the difference between father and father-in-law?
excellent. What's the difference between father and father-in-law? I want to say for now, because we have to build the structure bigger, for now, it's the same for now. We're going to nuance it a little bit further, but for now, let's look at it as the same. For now, just for now, look at it as the same. Mom, dad, mother-in-law, father-in-law. Look at it for now, as the same. We're going to nuance it. Very good. Now, we're going to go back to the case that we touched on that Morris highlighted the other day. The father tells the son not to do something which he feels is in the context of the health of the son or another family member. Okay? Let's read the case. Im sivalo aviv shelo yitbol b'mikveh mechashash she'aben yitztanen. The father tells the son, don't go into the mikveh before you go to pray on Tuesday morning. You go to the mikveh every morning before you go to pray. I don't want you going to the mikveh. It's outside. or whatever it is, it's 12 degrees outside, whatever it is, winter time. I don't want you to go because I'm concerned about your health. I don't want you to go to the mikveh because I'm concerned about your health. Tell me, room full of rabbis, tell me, what are the pros and cons of this consideration? What do you say? Let's go the pros and cons.
Well, the pro is he should be concerned about his health anyway.
He should be concerned about it. Very
begin
good.
with.
He's a strong, robust guy. He's been doing it for umpteen years. He's not concerned about it. Okay? The pros and cons are as follows. On the one hand, we have the mitzvah of kavod and morah, right? I have to respect my father, the weightiness. I have to be in awe of my father. Therefore, I have to listen to him. On the other hand, I'm doing something that's important to me. And there's a hashash, there's a concern. There's not an absolute risk here, there's a concern. Yeah? On the other hand, and this is, this is the third hand, in this case, the most important one. What am I talking about here? And this is how I want you to line it up in your minds. I have a safek deoraita, I have a question whether listening to him in this context is a deoraita, as a biblical commandment or not. I have a question whether listening to him in this context is a biblical commandment or not, right? Under the rubric of listening to dad, of, respecting dad. On the other hand, I have a minhag.
Is there a third option?
I want to say, wait a second, Jeffrey, stay with me here and then I'm going to go. Stay with me here, beautiful. I have might be deoraita, right? My deoraita, my biblical commandment to respect daddy, does not necessarily fall into the context of his concerns about my health. It's outside, it's broader. On the other hand, Abe, I have a minhag that our rabbis really promote heavily and feel strongly about, to go to the mikveh, a man to go to the mikveh every morning or whenever, Leil Shabbat, let's say, before I pray. So now I have it's not biblical to respect daddy in this respect. It's clearly not. It's outside of his necessities. You want to say it's in the spirit of the law? You want to say it's midat hasidut? You want to say it's lifnei mishrat hadin? Maybe. On the other hand, I have a minhag. That's an important minhag that a lot of the rabbis bring down.
Is this different than the other case? Here, one guy has a concern. Here, the other one had a concern of business.
Excellent, Joe. How is it different than the other case? Tell me how it's different than the other case. Beautiful. Work at one more step. How is it different than the other case? It's not money, but more than that, before that. Very good. What's different? Difference is I have a minhag here. There's something that we've done for hundreds, thousands of years. For men to go to the mikveh Friday afternoon or to go before prayers in the morning is a revered custom. And daddy is telling me to stop doing something I've done for the last 14 years. Because he woke up one morning and he feels that there's a risk to my health, a potential risk to my health. Or daddy is telling me, you know what, son, I know you've been a mohel now for the last 2 years or the last 20 minutes, whatever it is. I know you're a mohel, but you know what? I don't want you to be the mohel on your own son. Dad, I'm the mohel for half the community. It could be. But you know what? I have a concern here. What do you want to do about that? I have a concern. What do you want to do about
Is there a
that?
third option? I want to know. Is he taking it under advisement and consideration, a difference, and just dismissing?
You want him to listen or not listen, Jeffrey?
Oh,
He
so
has to
either
make a
or, there's no
decision.
third
Yeah.
option.
I'm going to read it from inside.
You can't give it away.
או שציווה עליו, right, שלא לבנו את בנו בעצמו מחשש שלא ימור היטב. Right? There's a potential risk to the baby if his father does the
Well,
bring.
now he has an interest
Why
because
is
he's
it
the
any more or
grandfather.
less
Now
Now he has his own interest, though.
He has own
He's
interest in
the-
both cases, though. He has an interest in the first case, too. He's interested in son being healthy. Okay,
Why is there
beauty.
more or less of a risk if he's the mohel or another guy's?
Okay, the father feels there is. That's the point. There may not be, Joe. There may not be, but the father feels there
You
is.
could expand this out and
Huh?
you could have a father who is not that observant.
Right.
He sees his kid becoming
Right,
observant.
right.
And he's saying, what are you doing?
Excellent. We're going to talk about that. If the father is less observant, see the kid. Different criteria, we're going to talk about it, but that's why I want you to keep building the structure in your mind, yeah? So this criteria is, there's a concern about the safety of the person himself, right, as a result of the son's actions, the person or the one who's the recipient of the person's actions, right? מאחר שאין בזה תועלת ישירה לאב בעצמו, because there's no direct benefit to the father. Remember, go back to the 5 or 6 categories listed in Masechet Kiddushin. There's no direct benefit to the father himself. The core things of food, shelter, and so on. Me'ikar hadin, and here's where you have to work, right, Morris? Me'ikar hadin, en kan mitzvat kibud avayim. What does that mean? What does it mean? Me'ikar hadin, talk to me. Me'ikar hadin. He's teasing you with that. He's teasing you with the words Me'ikar hadin, Maran. What is he saying? From the black and white halacha, you don't have to listen to him.
However, it seems that way.
Right. No. Don't be so apologetic. No. I want you to Me'ikar hadin, from the black and white halacha, letter of the law. I don't have to listen to him. Period. 1 second. We didn't finish the conversation. But be clear on these things. En kan mitzvat kibud umikol makom. But in any case, אם רואה שאביו או אמו מצטערים ודואגים על בריאותו, אם יתפוד בחורף, יש לו לשמוע בהם כדי שלא יגרום להם צער. What does that mean? But if he feels, if the son realizes that in fact this is going to cause some pain or sadness or concern to the father, you don't have to listen to him from the black and white area of halacha, but
It's in the spirit.
It's in the spirit. So now what do you want me to do?
What that means.
Good, exactly. I don't know what that means either.
That means that's what Hashem really wants.
You have a choice. That's
Yeah,
your
it means you have a choice. But one second, now I have a thing. 1 second. I was a matmid with my tevilah, right? Why? I'm sorry. I was a matmid with my tevilah, which means I did it more than 3 times, right? Excellent. Which means I have a chazakah here. What does it mean when you have a chazakah? You have to keep doing it, right? It's a minhag. I took on myself X. I have a chazakah. I have a commitment to X. When I take something good on for more than 3 times, it becomes my commitment to if it's not a mitzvah, it's a minhag, and I can't just walk away from
If
it.
it's a chumrah, you can't impose it on somebody else.
Okay, excellent. Beautiful. So, on the one hand, do I have to listen to Daddy's plea not to go to the mikveh on a Tuesday in December? Me'ikad hadin from the black and white law, Sion? I do not. Good. What are we going to say? It's not from ikad hadin. It's from the fact that daddy or mommy who requested us of this is going to be concerned, frightened, upset about it. Right. Very good. So now you have your scale, right? Now you have your beautiful halachic and meta-halachic scale. The scale says, well, how do I weigh mommy or dad's concern against the fact that I've taken this upon myself in a consistent way, and because I've taken it on in a consistent way, it's called chazakah, and I'm obligated to do it. What do you want to do, rabbis? Tell me. What do you say? Chacham, this was your question. Huh?
I'd say if it's a chumrah, he can't do it because he's going to cause anguish on them.
So you would say, Jeffrey, that Me'ikad hadin, I can do it. I can continue going to the mikveh because really it's outside the context of respecting my dad. But because it's going to cause pain to my father, I should stop.
Sure.
Oh yeah? I should stop. Yeah. So I'm going to break my chazakah. Okay. Yeah? Very good. We okay with that, gentlemen?
The net effect is better.
Chazakah is not a small thing. He's been going to the mikveh for umpteen years, every day.
Honor your father's not a small thing either.
My father's not a small thing either, right?
It's 1 day he's telling you, right?
No. He's telling you stop. I don't want you going in the winter. Less
That
than...
seems to be a problem too.
Huh?
That seems to be a problem.
What does?
You already took it upon yourself. You have this chazakai. It's going strong.
That's exactly the point. On the one hand, daddy's making a request. That request is beyond the construct of halakha in this thing. It's a meta request. It's an alter request, right?
What's it gonna
Do
lead
it and
to?
not let him know
What's
about it.
What's it gonna lead to if you don't do it?
What is it going to lead to? Okay.
What's gonna happen to the relationship?
What is it going to lead to?
What's gonna happen to the relationship?
What's going to happen to the relationship? Very good. So,
Mother gets involved.
I thought it was one cold day he told you not to.
no. I'm telling you, very good. No, but the truth, to your point, it doesn't make a difference. I go every single day.
And he's saying, don't ever go again.
He's saying, don't go in the winter. I'm using that example. Don't go in the winter. It's not saying never go again. It's saying, don't go in the winter.
Now, if you have rabbi that you learn whatever they tells you, don't
Beautiful.
go to the fair, you're going to question
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. If your rabbi told you don't go in the winter, would you question it?
Yeah.
Huh? You wouldn't.
You wouldn't.
You would stop going.
Right.
Excellent. So you would stop going if your rabbi told you not to go, right? So if your father tells you not to go, what do you want to do?
Should be the same.
You're going to not go, right? But what do you want me to do on the side where I took on an obligation, and that obligation is now like law to me because I've been doing it consistently for a long time.
But now there's a compelling reason not to, though.
Compelling reason not to. Great, yeah.
Just a question. Don't we say that minhag becomes the deen?
Excellent.
Is that what you?
Excellent. Minhag Yisrael Kedinu, right?
Is that correct statement?
This is not a minhag of all the people,
No. Let's
but
say my community.
okay.
Put tefillin in minhag.
Yeah. It becomes like a din, right? In this case, we're a drop outside of that, but yes, you could go there even. You could say, for me, it's din. So, what do the rabbis say? They say that even though it's a minhag, but it's a minhag that I've done many, many, many times, it becomes a chazakah for me. I have to go ahead and I have to do, right? What do I have to do when I want to break something? I have to do hatarat nedarim. Holy cow. I have to get 3 men together. I have to stand in front of the men. I have to say, I'm going to discontinue what I've done for X number of weeks or X number of years during this time period. And I am uprooting my commitment. I'm uprooting my commitment doing this thing. Because had I known, you have to have a reason. You can't just do Hatarat and Darim, right? When we do Hatarat and Darim on Kippur and leading up to the holidays and stuff like that, you can't just say, I didn't fulfill it, therefore I'm out. The assumption in Hatarat and Darim is that had I known what I know now, I never would have made this commitment. So the person will stand in front of a Beit Din and he'll do the Hatarah, saying that had I known that dad or mom would have been upset by this, I never have made the commitment, therefore I'm retroactively uprooting it, and it's as if it never was. So,
What if that's not the case? What if father was okay with it for a while and then...
excellent. Now what do you want to do? What if the father was okay and then now he got concerned? What do you want to do?
Could be.
It doesn't make a difference.
No, his father's going to change his mind.
It doesn't make a difference.
No, it doesn't make a difference.
No, Joey's saying, do I have to listen to him? He was good with it for the last 14 years. Now he woke up one day and he said, you know what, son, I read an article, that, I'm nervous about it. Does it make a difference? The answer is doesn't make a difference. Does not make a
Father
difference.
can change his mind, of course.
His father can change his mind. Excellent. So what are we saying here? Mi'ikad hadin, I don't have to listen to him, right? But because it's going to cause pain to my father, and I'm not uprooting a mitzvah, hold these, because again, we're building here, we're building. I'm not uprooting a mitzvah, I'm uprooting a minhag, even though it's a minhag kavua, a consistent minhag, because I must uproot a minhag because of the pain of my father.
What about keeping him from knowing about it? Do it,
but keep it from knowing about
it.
Then you
And he'll
fool
be
yourself.
able to
You
keep
fool
the
yourself.
minhag. He'll be able to keep his minhag.
That
and he
might
won't
be-
have any pain.
That's even worse. That's even worse.
Is it worse?
That's
Is
even
it
worse.
worse?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm
You're
not
cheating
sure.
yourself.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
What if it's a regular mitzvah?
You're cheating
What if
yourself.
We're not talking about a regular.
I'm saying if you're considering it like a mitzvah,
Because
what
you're
if your
faking
father
yourself
doesn't
out.
want you to donate
You-
to a charity?
you're cheating.
Excellent.
The whole idea of the halakha, you're cheating it.
I thought you were allowed a life.
It's like saying, I want to see
Okay,
it.
one sec at a time. Good.
Nobody sees me. Hey, I want to take it with me. Nobody sees me, okay? Nobody saw me, so it's okay. That's what he's saying.
All right, let's go step by step. The reason, and the reason I'm posing it, Jeffrey, the reason I'm posing it as a minhag, again, we're building an infrastructure here. I'm posing it as a minhag, not a mitzvah, for a purpose, for a reason. We're moving along the spectrum, right? This is a minhag. The minhag causes pain to dad or mom. The minhag, right? Because it's now only is not just only, right? It's not just an only, but because only in quotation marks, because it's only a minhag, I have to stop it. I.e., when not going there yet, i.e., what you're going to take from this is, but if it's a direct mitzvah, daddy can't tell me to stop. Right? If it's a direct mitzvah, daddy can tell me to stop. Okay, very good. But we're going to call this minhag. And we're going to hold that at this point, if something is a minhag, even though it doesn't fall into the direct rubric of the black and white absolute requirements of respecting a father, it's in the broader requirements. It might be under Morah, it might be under Lifnei Mishrat Adin, it might be under Midat Chasidut, it might be under whatever.
What if you want you to eat a meat meal during the 9 days?
Okay, very good.
Make it see you.
Yeah, make it see. Everybody's talking about that. Everybody's talking about that now. That's the big
I want you to
thing.
eat meat now. Yeah.
That's the big thing.
I cooked you a steak. I want you to eat it.
Look, you again, you would say it's the same thing. It's really the same thing.
And if this pain, listening to your father causes you pain,
It causes you pain. You've been going to the mikveh every day for 14 years. Now you can't do it. So, let me bring you a few sources on it. Shara Mitzvot. So it tells us a fascinating story. In Yan HaTevilah, in the context of this minhag of Tevilah, Ha'arizal, right? The giant of giants of Kabbalah. Bitel HaTevilah. Some of us have been to the Ariz mikveh in up north. Bitel HaTevilah biglal gezerat imo. What does that mean?
That's on his mother. His mother gave him a decree.
His mother, the Arizal, the greatest of the greatest, right? He's in another place completely, right? He stopped going to the mikveh in the winter because mom said, I don't want you to do it. She told him, son, you might be the greatest Kabbalist that will ever be in the planet, but you're still my son, and I'm telling you, I'm concerned about you going in the winter. I'm telling you, I don't want you to go. What did he do? He stopped.
But is that the same? That's not the same as today. That was maybe a genuine concern in those conditions. You know, it's like a 30 degrees below here, and your mother tells you don't go. Maybe.
Can you negotiate with her?
Sure.
Can you get her? Can you try to convince her?
I guess you could. But bottom line, if she tells you no, it's no.
Oh, okay.
She tells you no, it's no.
Modern day version.
Huh?
You could have a modern day version. What if you want to go to Ukraine to visit Breslov?
Right. What if you want to go to Ukraine? Right. You want to go to Ukraine now, right? What would you say on that? Your father says, son, listen, I really would rather you don't go. Now, what is it? Is it a minhag? I don't even know if that's a minhag to go. I don't know what that is. I don't know what it is. No, I'm not speaking down about it. I'm just saying I can't even put it in the category of minhag, right?
Pilgrimage.
If you're saying that I can be mevatel a minhag, mashma, that I can't be mevatel a mitzvah, if I could break a minhag, if I have to break the minhag, we didn't talk about mitzvah yet, but we said something pretty earth-shattering, which is, because of the pain or the discomfort that I may cause my parent, I'm obligated to break a minhag. That's a very big deal. And when you bring the Arizal, of all people, it's pretty strong. Now, Let's say it was a mitzvah midrabanan. It was a rabbinic law. Rabbinic law. Biblical law we're going to talk about, right? But let's say it was rabbinic. What would you say?
No.
I have sa'ad avi, I have the pain or discomfort of mom or dad. Versus a minhag, we said, stop the minhag. Joe, what would you say? If it's a rabbinic law. Now, let's line it up halachically in our minds. In terms of the kibud of the respect of a father that would be expressed here, it's not really biblical. Because biblical really doesn't include this. It's biblical-ish. And to fulfill this biblical-ish, or not biblical at all, I have to stop doing mitzvah midrabanan, a rabbinic mitzvah. Does the tza'ad of my father, the pain of my father as he's expressing it, overweigh my obligation to a rabbinic commandment?
No.
It does not.
No, it
Very
doesn't
good.
even start.
It doesn't even start. Good. So good. So we would say that if this was a rabbinic commandment, I can't stop it, right? Good. Because the version of this from a context of honoring a father is not within the biblical context. But if I were to say that causing pain to my father is included in the biblical context of honoring a parent, or not disrespecting a parent, or being in awe of a parent, then I would say that the son has to break the rabbinic one as well. Because I have a deoraita versus the rabbanan, I have to break it. But if we're going to say that in the hardcore black and white version of honoring a parent, causing them emotional distress doesn't fit into the biblical commandment, it does not fit in, then I can't break a rabbinic over a non-biblical. But if you're going to say that really the intent of kabed and morah and all those halachot that we learned is not going to cause pain for your father or mother, and you want to say that that really is the spirit of the biblical law, then you'd have to break a rabbinic law as well.
I can't see that.
Right?
I can't see
You can't see that, and you're right. And you're right.
It doesn't even come in. It doesn't even.
What if you have an overbearing parent who makes every decision, do it this way, I don't want you doing this, and it goes against everything that you feel and do?
On a halachic point of view,
Yeah.
no. A parent, we're going to go into this in depth, but a parent can't tell a child to break the halacha. And in fact, it's not only that, but let's say a child wants to move to Israel, right? Let's say a child wants to move to Israel, right? Really, the halacha is that we should all be living in Israel. That's the
You don't have
halacha,
to.
period. Huh?
You should, but you don't have to.
But can a parent tell him no? You
Yes.
should, but you don't. Parent can't tell him no.
What happened to me? What?
We just said they can bring in the rabbanan. I don't even.
Huh? You can say no, but al pi halacha, you really can't.
I just said you can
Why?
bring in the rabbanan.
Why not?
Huh?
Someone
Rabbanan?
wants to live in
You
Israel. I said
Can't
no.
go.
Rabbinical
It's cut the support. He came back.
If it's in the hardcore context of Doraita, but these are not. One second, let's go step by step, sorry. Let's go step by step. If the child, we know, black and white, clear, we're going to talk about it more, but clear, if the child is doing a mitzvah, the father can't tell him to stop, right? Doing a mitzvah, he's learning Torah, right? If the student wants to learn Torah, it's clear. Your father can't tell him to stop. Very good. Okay, very good. If the child wants to marry a certain girl, right? If the son wants to marry a certain girl, yeah? Nothing wrong with the girl, right? Can the father tell him to, does the son, I'm going to go the other way. Does the son have to listen to the father if the father says, I'd rather you not?
No.
The answer is no.
Really?
The answer is no. The son does not have to listen to the father because maybe he won't find another girl. And maybe this is person, he won't find another person like her.
If the father pushes the issue,
If the father can push it, the issue, but on the straight structure, he doesn't have to listen. He doesn't have to. He can listen, but in terms of the context of kavod and mora, as we're framing it, the son does not have to listen to this because it's outside, and the logic of the rabbis is the son may not find another girl. It doesn't mean, he found this girl. It doesn't mean there's going to be another girl 10 minutes later. He may not find one. Okay? Now, the questions get more complicated, when the son says, for example, I want to join the Israeli army.
What if the father says one thing and the mother says
One
another
second. I don't want to go there yet. That's a good.
Oh,
one.
okay.
That's a parenting class. We'll talk about that.
No.
No, I'm kidding. But let's leave that for now. Yeah. Who does he have to listen to more? Very nice.
He doesn't have to listen to either.
Excellent. We'll talk about it, but let's hold that for a little bit.
Okay.
Son wants to join the Israeli army. There's a safek pikuach nefesh, right? There's a concern about putting his life in danger. The father says absolutely not. Does the son have to listen to his father? Yes or no? What would you say?
Case probably happens a lot.
Yeah, I mean it happens. Yeah. What would you
I
say?
think he has to. He has to listen to his father.
He has to listen to his father, right?
Go in the mikveh.
Yeah, safek pikuach nefesh here. We have a questionable putting your life at risk, right? Okay, very good. But if the son wants to move to Israel, some people would say that's pikuach nefesh as well. That's
You
putting
take
your life at risk.
nefesh for the moher too.
You could say that too. So what's our criteria? Our criteria is that moving to Israel is not pikuach nefesh, but going to the army probably would be, right? So therefore, if the parent put his foot down hard and said, "Look, you can't go," the son would have to respect that. Okay, we're going to go more in depth with these. Let's do a few more sources on this.
So Bikuach Nefesh is a factor?
Pikuach nefesh is a fact,
The
right?
mikveh case
I always
is
said
all,
it didn't matter whether.
then you could change
Right.
the mikveh
Pikuach
case.
nefesh is a factor. Very good. So Morris is saying like this. Morris is saying if the pure context here is the creature comforts of mom and dad, then why should my pikuach nefesh have anything to do with that? That's what you're saying, right? And the answer is we're going to go back to this here. We're going to go back that sa'ad, pain caused to a parent, is something. It's not nothing. So does it fall under the black and white? No. And therefore, even though I'm going to cause pain to my parent by moving to Israel, I can do it. Right? Because it's not considered a direct or deliberate disregard of respecting my father.
So those are the
But-
parameters of pikuach nefesh.
Very complicated.
No, it's not so complicated, Joe.
Very complicated, because if you have a parent who is just overriding, overbearing all the time.
That's right.
Telling the kid what to do. Just
You don't
what
have
they
to
want.
listen. The answer is you don't have to listen. We're making that point clear. We're making that point clear, right? Good. If an overbearing, baseless, if it's baseless, we made the point very clear that the parent is concerned for this child's health, right? Going to the mikveh in the freezing cold, or the father doing a bris on his son, he might get overwhelmed emotionally, this, that. When it happens, something may happen. We're talking about health. In that case, it falls in the context of sa'ad, of pain that a person is causing his parent. And is it black and white in that case? No. But we're going to say this is something that even though it's a nice thing, it's a good thing, it might even be a minhag, because you're causing your parent pain, don't do it. Can somebody come up and say, I'm doing it, al pi halacha, black and white halacha? Absolutely. Good? Now, if you have an overbearing, over-demanding parent, right? So that's why we have to fit it into these slices, right?
Because to them, anything that you don't do that they say, it's going
That's
to cause them
correct.
pain.
That's right.
You know, how many times
That's
it's the
right.
whole
And-
Jewish thing, you're killing me, you're killing
Right,
me.
very good. And therefore, we have to know the parameters of the halacha. We have to know that pain in general is outside of the rubric of kibbud avim, of the black and white kibbud avim. It's outside, but it's not gone from it. It's not divorced from it. It's just not black and white. So I'm in the gray area. So now, if I have a gray area where there's a health risk to me or to my baby, listen to dad. If I'm in a gray area where the upshot is that I'm going to benefit from being in Yerushalayim, let's say, at a time where there's spectacular Torah and this, that going on over there, right? Where people see the open hand of God, miracles beyond belief. Okay. Because I'm in the context of tza'ar, of pain. I'm not in the black and white context of respect. And to your point, the overwhelming majority of issues fall into this gray area. Not into the black and white, right? And that's why we're going to spend time on this gray area. And that's why we're moving into it now, right? Yeah? Yeah, is that good? Yeah.
The story, I don't know if it's from the Torah, but if your father takes all your money and throws it in the ocean, you can't say anything.
If he takes all his money and throws it in the ocean.
All his money.
All his money, you can't say anything.
No, if he takes all your money.
If he takes my money and throws it in the ocean, the question is, what could I do?
After the fact. He's talking about after the
Right.
fact.
You're talking about the story,
Your
yeah.
mother would throw him off the boat.
Right. We're going to talk about that story, okay? Because there's different versions of it, my money, his money, and the question is it a difference if he throws his money, which was ultimately coming to me, or my money? All right? So we're going to talk about that.
What do
Yeah.
you say if a father says, "Well, what's the difference? I'm already 70 years old. Who cares? My money, your money." And it mixes everything together.
And therefore what?
And therefore, he gives his kids, all of them, everybody's together.
And therefore,
So,
and the question is,
my money, whose money that doesn't exist? It's our money.
it's our money. So now,
The family money.
right now, if it's our
Maybe
money,
The brother could have a comment.
huh?
Maybe even the brothers now.
Yeah,
could
yeah.
comment.
Yeah.
The problem with the father
it's-
wife, it's good, but if the father goes, then the kids are going to
Okay, all right, that's a different thing. But if it's our money, it's already his money, my son's money, and I can't take from my son's money. So if we mix the money, and now it's my money and your money or everybody's money, now we have a problem. But I can't take from my son's money. Right?
That was your
So
point.
is
Don't
it
give
better
it
to
to them
mix
to
or not
begin
to
with.
That's my point. That was my point
Is
that
it
the
better to
rabbis
mix
bring
money or
down.
not mix
Huh?
money? Is it better to mix money?
I'm saying it's better not to mix money.
Not to mix money.
I'm saying it's better not to mix money. Because then it's what's mine is his, and once what's mine is his, I as the father, I'm limited. I can't really. It's complicated what I can take, because it's ours. Now it's our money. Becomes more complicated. I mean, effectively, I could take what I want because it's really my money, right? Really my money. But now it's our money. Yeah.
Does the Gemara mention the spirit of the law at all? It mentions
The Rishonim do more so than the Gemara. The Rishonim do. The early rabbis do.
because all
more
I'm
so.
hearing is just the 5 parameters of the halakha.
Right. But that's not where it stops.
No,
That's
no,
where
I
it
know,
starts.
but
That's where it starts.
Begin? Does it begin in the Gemara or does it begin in here in the halakha?
It's both. It's really both.
Okay.
Yeah. Shekatav. Okay, let's bring the Rashba from Yevamot. Shekatav shikar mitzvat kibud avayim b'ma sheyesh lo hana'ah. אבל אם ציווה לעשות דבר שאין לו הנאה של כלום, אין זה כיבוד אב שנצטווה עליו, ואין בזה עשה של תורה שידחה אפילו לאו בלבד. משמע שעל כל פנים יש בזה מצווה. Beautiful. The Rashba puts it in a beautiful way, very much along the lines I was saying. I want to explain it. He brings in the context of something in Masechet Yevamot. Shikar mitzvat kivud avaim hu hi b'ma sheyesh lo hana'ah. The essence of the mitzvah of respecting a parent is to what brings him pleasure. So when I say that it's all about food, clothing, shelter, transport, it's not about that specifically, according to the Rashba. It's about the fact that brings him pleasure. Now, once we say that it's about which brings him pleasure, now the whole thing blows up. Right? So what the Rashba is saying here, to your point, blows the whole thing out of the water, right? Because now it's absolutely open-ended. Beauty. Let's see where he goes. אבל אם ציווהו לעשות דבר שאין לו הנאה של כלום. What does that mean? I mean, if he...
There's no benefit at all to the father.
The father's not getting any pleasure from it, i.e., thank you very much, Chef. If the father is not getting any pleasure from it, right? Therefore, אין זה כיבוד אב שנצטווה עליו ואין בזה עשה של תורה שידחה אפילו לה בלבד. משמע שעל כל פנים יש בזה מצווה. He's living in that great place where we are. He's saying like this. He's saying, listen, guys, I hear everybody, and it's to Isaac's point. I hear everybody that you're focusing on the 5 deliverables that it mentions in Kiddushin. I hear you. But come on, guys. I'm paraphrasing. The Rashba wouldn't put it this way. He says, come on, guys. You know, we're talking about pain and pleasure to your parent, aren't we? When your father asks you to get him a coat, isn't that pain and pleasure? When your father asks you to get him some food, isn't that pain and pleasure?
That's the spirit of it.
Of course it is. Of course it's pain and pleasure. So if we're talking about pain and pleasure, what are you splitting hairs on these things for? He says, if we're talking about pain and pleasure, you might say it's broader than the mitzvot. You might say that, but you can't say it's outside of the context of the mitzvah. He says, he ends up with that umashma shal kol panim yesh bazeh mitzvah. He says that if it's the pain and pleasure of that, al kol panim, in any case, there's a mitzvah here. So it's part of the same structure. Now, the good news about this is it validates a lot of what we've been saying, which is if it's going to cause mom and dad pain, then really it's no different than anything else, right? So just because the Gemara wasn't specific in mentioning the term tsa'ar, pain, it was implicit. It was inherent in the other halachot. What's the point of bringing daddy something to eat? So he's not hungry, so he's not in pain, right? What's the point of taking him and bringing him? So that he has that need fulfilled. And if the need isn't fulfilled, it's going to cause him pain. And therefore, says the Rashba, if there's something else that would cause him pain or pleasure, you might say it's outside the context of the very narrow definition of the mitzvah, or you might very well say not. And therefore, it's a mitzvah like everything else.
And in the case of a parent that's overbearing or what seems to be overbearing, then that means that you have to work harder to make that parent happy.
Now you have this fantastic
Or you get the
point.
bizarre of, you know.
Now, yeah, well, what if the parent is overbearing? What if the parent is unfair? What if the parent is unreasonable?
Or
What?
just plain wrong.
Huh? Or just plain wrong.
Plain wrong.
Good, we're going to talk about that. What if the parent is overbearing? In the context of a health issue related to my child or grandchild, Maran is saying, in this case, you will not call the parent overbearing. I'm going to break a minhag of tevilah, which from a Kabbalistic point of view is very, very, very important. In the case of this, you're not going to call the parent overbearing, and you should stop. Good? But now the question becomes, when do we call the parent overbearing? Right? So that's the next phase of what we want to get into. When do we call the parent overbearing?
Unreasonable.
Unreasonable.
You're gonna have
Joe?
an answer-
Or
you're gonna have
not.
an answer for that?
We're going to work hard. We're going to work hard to get it.
Or not.
Or not.
Maybe
Right.
that is the test, and that is the challenge.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
spoke to a rabbi once in Israel, and he was saying that a lot of the barakah that they talk about in Israel that this community has or had from the past till today
There's no
is
question.
because of kibbud avayim.
There is
done
no
like no other
question.
community in the world.
There's no question.
For all we know, this is our sustenance. This is our form of sustenance.
So he's raising a massive point. The zchut avot, the bracha that we get from what we did for those who preceded us, comes back and it blesses our efforts disproportionately. It's a disproportionate bracha. It's not, if you did A, you don't get A, you get 2, 3, 4 times A, and we hold that it like radiates to the positive. It goes like this. It's a fabulous thing. So what we did for our parents and what they did for their parents doesn't bless our efforts once. It blesses and re-blesses and re-blesses. And to a point, you could very well say that being, our community it's really remarkable. It doesn't make any logical sense that we are what we are, that we have what we have, and we're the same all over the world, right? The Syrian Jews are the same all. I went to Brazil a couple months ago. It was copy-paste. The safer, the natural warmth, the love of Torah, the love of chesed. They're fighting over each other to do more chesed. They're opening up their homes. I was a stranger, opening up their homes to a stranger with love, with beautiful presentation. I said, you don't live in Brooklyn. But they're the same values. And the beracha, there's disproportionate beracha. So it's very true. So when I think about honoring a parent, I need to think about that as well.
So the more oil you have, right, the more difficult these.
That's it. You hit it perfectly, Joe. The more oil you have, the more difficult this is. What if you're really struggling with the parent's decision? You're really struggling, you know?
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah.
Or what about if a parent had a thing that was a no, and they're no longer here?
Yeah.
Now,
I mean, does it last? Is there a lingering effect?
right. Right, your parents, let's say, had a thing, they
had a thing and they're no longer here. So the kavod that I have to show a parent after they pass.
Right. We have an obligation for that.
We have an obligation, so we're going to talk about that as well. Let's say a parent said, I know my father, for example, right? My father had certain things, right? Like all our parents do, had certain things, yeah? Yahareg val ya'avor, so to speak, from his context. Okay, do I say times are different now? Do I say something like that? Do I have a right to say that? So we're going to talk about, because our rabbis bring it down, we're going to talk about what kavod means after 120 years of a person's life. Because it's not exactly the same. The kavod is a lot the same, but not exactly the same. We have to talk about that.
So these things that we spoke about mostly apply or don't apply?
No, I don't want to answer you. I want to go into it specifically. I'm going to talk about specific halacha.
I mean, they're gone already. What kind of kavod? They're gone already.
No, the answer is there's a significant amount of kavod that is still incumbent upon us. Baruch Adonai Le'olam, amen, amen. Thank you, gentlemen. Should we say Kaddish? We have a...